Welcome, travelers, to High Fantasy. I'm Brett. I clapped and I shouldn't have clapped. You got me clapping. I need my herb pouch. Daddy's been paying for my salt.
This
I'm part of the poop patrol, ma'am.
And I'm Emily. But I'm like, don't make the robots.
Don't make the robots
crunch. I would speak with dinosaur in a second. I have beef with DC. It's a thing. It's a whole thing.
Join us on our epic world-spanning adventures. Armed with only a bit of long-bottom leaf, we will delve into some of the most amazing worlds of imagination that have ever existed. Before we get into that, don't forget to check out our Patreon if you want to support the channel. And without further ado, let's get into it.
You can clap. You can. Yay!
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of High Fantasy. I'm Brett.
And I'm Emily.
And today, we are going to be continuing our Fallout series as we celebrate the second season of the Fallout TV series, which we have been greatly enjoying so far.
Yes, we have. It has been pretty good. Can't wait to see where it goes. Not gonna say any spoilers yet.
You know, we'll get there. We'll get there. But yes. So, without further ado, do you remember where we left off last time?
So it's been a while, but I remember we left off on 3.
Yes.
And things happened in 3.
Mm-hmm.
And those things were... So there's... Oh boy. So there's the Lone Wanderer.
Mm-hmm.
There is the... Was that the first one or is that the last one?
Vault Dweller?
The Vault Dweller was the first one. The second one was the Lone
Chosen
one.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was the Lone Wanderer last time.
I think the Lone Wanderer is
They were wandering alone.
Mm-hmm.
Was that 3? Or am I fully wrong?
I'm gonna be completely honest, I don't remember.
Huh? It's not my fault.
I know the Lone Wanderer is one of the titles for the, main character, but I don't remember if it was specifically 3 that the Lone Wanderer was. It would make sense because, they leave their vault and there's no one else with them. Because I'm pretty sure Sole Survivor is 4.
Oh, okay. Cool. We left off there. That's where we left off and things happened. They left the vault. And they were wandering alone.
So we've gotten to see kind of the post-apocalyptic world of Fallout in 1, 2, and 3. We got to see California. We've got to see Washington, D.C. And kind of some of the surrounding areas and obviously blah, blah, blah. We'll get to see Boston later in Fallout 4. But for right now, we're talking about Vegas. Las Vegas, Nevada. The big wasteland of Vegas. Well, what would be the wasteland? Now, we're going to start our story as our character is hogtied. And by hogtied, I mean bound. And you have a sack over your head. And you can kind of see what's going on. But there are 3 men in front of you. 2 tough-looking biker guys. They're it looks like they're enjoying beating the crap out of you.
Oh, that's fun.
And a man in a checkered suit with slicked back hair, a fancy lighter, a new pack of smokes, and just a devilish grin.
Oh, he's snazzy.
Now, he takes the bag off your head. And he tells the other 2, he's like, great kons might kill somebody without looking him in the eye. But I'm not a fink, you dig?
Okay.
And he's like, you know what? I'm sorry we had to do this. Must seem like, on your end, an 18-carat run of bad luck. But truth is, game was rigged from the start. And then he shoots you in the head.
That's wild. What a way to start a game.
Yeah, kind of nuts. So that's the beginning. That's your character. You get you start at, now you might think to yourself, okay, so we're gonna go like back in time and then,
Get to
this is
this
gonna be
moment.
the moment. Nope. Nope. We start with Doc Henry. Doc Henry is a man in a small town known as Goodsprings
Okay.
in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, Doc Henry saw something happen up in the graveyard near Goodsprings and decided to go investigate, to be a good Samaritan.
A good guy.
And he finds us in a shallow grave,
Jesus.
somehow still kicking with a hole in our head.
Didn't even bother burying us.
Yeah, it was a pretty crap job. So he stitched us up, and basically we survive.
Dang,
We
okay.
survive getting shot in the head.
Point blank.
Point blank. So it's not like, we got winged or clipped. No, this guy straight up execution style, just to the head, point blank range, bam, and we are still kicking. Don't ask me how. It's a Fallout game. Suspend your disbelief.
It never tells you.
Nope.
That's crazy. That's
Nope.
the wildest part of this, I think.
Now,
Is that it never tells you how.
Here's a fun thing. It is actually, theoretically, possible to survive a bullet to the brain. It's extraordinarily rare.
You have to hit just the right spot where it's hitting everything that's not important, which is in the brain, a very small section of the brain.
And it's got to be, somebody's got to get to you fast enough to fix it up, So the chances that this guy messed up that bad and that there was a wasteland doctor that managed to get to us fast enough to fix this make it even harder to believe. But you know what?
This is Fallout. We're suspending our disbelief for the fun of games.
That's not the point. We're having a good time, and we're a badass. We survived getting shot in the head. But now comes payback time, right? So this is going to be the main motivation for our character for a little while here.
Okay.
Is we don't know who we are. We don't know our name. We don't know what we were doing. That's your brain gets a little fuzzy after it's been shot. So yeah, you got some figuring out to do, right?
Yeah, investigating.
Investigating.
Call me detective.
So we go around the little town of Goodsprings, and this is our tutorial into Fallout New Vegas. And it teaches us a little bit about the faction system, teaches us that, you can gain and lose reputation with different factions by doing specific quests or doing bad things, i.e. stealing from people in a faction, or killing members of that faction, or just being an out-and-out jerk to members of that faction. So you gain or lose reputation points depending on what you do. Now, generally the fastest way to do it is just by completing quests.
Yeah.
Goodsprings teaches us this via a small introduction, which I think is extremely fun, but not pertinent to the actual story.
Okay.
So, in the town of Goodsprings, we meet a robot. A Securitron.
Okay.
Which is kind of like this big, bulky, almost humanoid-looking dude on a big wheel.
Yeah.
And they just roll around. Bless you. They've got arms. They've got a little monitor in the front that has a display that shows a little face. Just try to give some semblance of human personality. It's really not there, but
Yeah.
Now this Securitron is special.
Okay.
This Securitron has a name.
Okay.
And his name's Victor.
Victor!
He's got a cowboy hat and he talks with a southern drawl.
Love it.
And he basically alludes to the fact that he has nothing to do with anything going on. He just happens to live in this small town for no real reason. And no one in Goodsprings really trusts Victor.
Everybody's like, Victor, you sussy baka.
Yeah, what is this Securitron? Everybody knows that every Securitron is owned, operated, and run by House. Mr. Robert House, the leader of New Vegas, but we'll get to that in a bit. So the fact that there's just, a random Securitron wandering around with different programming, okay, sure. But Victor's a little suspect from the get-go, right? Right out of the gate. And we find out a little bit, kind of as we're going here, of the people were headed to Vegas. We find that out, right? So this guy, this dude in the checkered suit, and his two great con bodyguards, this is all the information we really get, are headed to Vegas. So we gotta get to Vegas.
Okay.
Because we gotta track this guy down, right? You know, we gotta get some good old-fashioned wasteland justice on this dude. So we can take a few paths to Vegas. We could try to go through Quarry Junction.
Okay.
This is the fastest route to Vegas from Goodsprings. This is not a good idea. Because doing so puts you directly in the quarry. Which is where they mine a lot of the stone, like, for New Vegas.
Okay.
Which shouldn't be a problem, right?
The way you're saying it makes it sound like it is a problem.
It is. It is. Because it was a mining operation until the Death Claws moved in.
Yeah, that'll do it.
So if you go there with any character that's not strapped with C4, you're gonna have a problem. You're gonna have a real problem.
So you're saying your level 1 character isn't gonna make it?
It's not gonna end well for you, no. No. Yeah, you're gonna need high-powered weaponry if you want to clear out Quarry Junction, which is a quest. Mm-hmm. You can do that later on. And you can even, like, if you do decide to take that route, there's so many warning signs telling you back away.
Yeah.
Literal signs that say, Death Claws ahead, stop here, death, blah, 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 blah. Even so far as the actual town near Quarry Junction where the miners live, and they will stop your character and say, hey, don't keep going forward. That's where the quarry is, and there's a bunch of Death Claws done moved in.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's a lot of factions in New Vegas. There's a lot going on. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that before we get back into the main story of this, because this is going to be extraordinarily pertinent.
Okay.
So, in Fallout New Vegas, there's a bunch of, like, good, bad, and everything in between factions, right? The NCR, which is the New California Republic, make their largest appearance in any Fallout game thus far in Fallout New Vegas. They are the main, I would almost say, antagonist faction. Like, they're the good guys. Mm-hmm. Or protagonist, not antagonist. Protagonist. Because they are trying to bring law and order back to the wasteland, right? They are government and, you know, rules and taxation and good old-fashioned values. That's the NCR. Then you have Caesar's Legion. And they are directly opposed to the NCR in this situation. And these two factions are the largest factions that are at war in Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah, and Caesar's Legion is like the Roman Empire dictatorship. There is Caesar. He beheads people, slave trade, all of that. All that jazz.
Exactly, yes. Caesar's Legion is not... It's really funny because they constantly mention in the game, if left to its own devices, let's say Caesar's Legion wins, it's not self-sustainable. Because what Caesar's Legion does is they roll in, they kick the crap out of everybody, and then they absorb them into Caesar's Legion.
Yeah.
And then they keep going.
Yeah.
But they don't stop to farm. They don't stop to hunt, really. They just
take
go.
And then go.
And so once you've taken everything,
what's left?
There's nothing left.
Yeah.
So if they win, there is no future.
They don't want to create infrastructure. They want to take what other people have made and then leave it behind once it's fully used up.
Exactly. So they have a typical raider mentality. I don't want to work for it myself. I want to take what other people have worked hard for because that's easy.
Caesar's Legion just feels like the most organized raider group.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like the scariest raider group out there.
Mm-hmm. So they're not great. They're truly terrible. So the problem here is the NCR is fighting a lot of wars. They're fighting against Caesar's Legion. They're fighting against the Great Kons. They're fighting against the Fiends. They are the only force in Vegas that is actually fighting for the common person, really.
Yeah.
Now, Mr. House and his Securitrons, the person who kind of owns Vegas, he keeps Vegas okay.
Yeah.
And he does this with the help of crime families that are under his thumb.
That makes sense.
But they all kowtow to House. And he brought them in a long time ago, but that's, again, its own story. So those are the main factions, right? You got the three. They're warring. You got good, you got bad, you got neutral. Super basic, right?
Yeah. There's always more sprinkled in there, but those are the main ones of the story, at least.
Exactly. Main ones of the story. So with that in mind, we go back to our character, the Courier. That is their current description for Fallout New Vegas is the Courier. Now, since we can't take Quarry Junction, we gotta go around the long way to get to Vegas. Now, by doing this, we're eventually going to run into a NCR-controlled area called Boulder City.
The Boulder.
Boulder City has its own story again, but here's the important thing. There's a group of great kons that are cornered in Boulder City by the NCR.
Okay, and the great kons are just a raider faction.
Exactly. They're a little bit more than that. It's a little bit more complicated, but pretty close, right? So we know that the man in the checkered suit had two great con bodyguards.
Yes, we don't
These
know
are the
if
guys...
he was great con, but he had them with him.
Yeah, these are the guys that kicked the crap out of us.
Yes.
In the beginning of the game. And we're gonna see them again.
Okay.
Now, there's multiple ways to deal with the scenario. There's a lot of information to be gained. So I'm gonna give you the cliff notes of what's about to happen.
Okay.
You can either negotiate with them, with the NCR, so that they walk away and basically don't have to get murdered.
Yeah.
And they give you information. You lie to them, tell them that you're going to do that, don't, and you get information. And then they get murdered.
Okay.
Or you can go in there yourself, intimidate the information out of them, and then murder them yourself.
Okay.
So there's multiple ways to deal with this, right?
Yeah.
But we find out a good chunk of information from these guys. We find out that the guy who did this to us, the dude in the checkered suit, his name's Benny.
Okay.
And he's with one of the groups in New Vegas. He's with one of the, organized crime families in New Vegas. We find out that he didn't tell them why he wanted to knock us over, but he had information that we were carrying something that he wanted.
Okay.
And by going to the town of, I believe it's, not Novak, it's, oh no. Oh well. There's another town that you go to beforehand. Nipton, maybe? No. It might be Novak or Nipton. Anyway. You go there, and you find out that there's a courier office. And your character was a courier.
Okay, so basically you were given something that they wanted.
Exactly. And you talk to the head of that courier's office, and he says, yeah, crazy order. Somebody wanted us to, deliver a bunch of random small items, ordered, 6 couriers to deliver them to these other, named locations, blah, blah, blah. Everybody was carrying something just a little different, but the contents were odd. And so it sticks out to him, and he remembers this order. One of them was carrying a chess piece.
Okay.
Another one was carrying, a gold lighter.
Okay.
All these another one set of dice, I think.
Do you ever find out if these other items are important, or were they just kind of like decoys?
They were decoys. Yeah, they were decoys.
Decoys!
But the item that you were carrying was a platinum poker chip.
Okay.
And it was supposed to be delivered to New Vegas.
To
Mr. House.
Okay.
But unfortunately, that delivery never got made because
your thing was stolen.
Now, another crazy little bit here that will lead into a different DLC. You weren't supposed to be the courier to take that package.
Oh? Who was?
A guy called Ulysses.
Okay.
And he turns it down when he sees that you're the one who's supposed to take it. You have no idea who Ulysses is.
Huh.
But that's for a DLC for another episode.
Okay.
So, now we know this guy's name is Benny. We know that he has the protection of one of the crime families, so he's not going to be easy to murder. And we also know that he was headed to New Vegas with a platinum chip that he stole from you that was supposed to be going to Mr. Robert House.
Okay.
So, doesn't really matter how we choose to deal with things in Boulder City. We're on our way to New Vegas, and we're not getting sidetracked, baby. We're just heading out. We gotta find Benny.
Okay.
Screw that guy. Everybody hates Benny.
Yeah, he shot you in the head.
Yeah, little rat prick. Anyway, so...
You bastard.
You bastard. So, we get to New Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The Las Vegas, baby. The lights,
Vegas,
the whole
baby.
city is untouched by the bombs.
Crazy.
And we find out that this is because Robert House, before the bombs fell, back before the war, he made a missile system built to destroy nukes set on Vegas.
That's wild.
So that he would have his own little slice of paradise that he could just rule as he saw fit.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. You save an entire city of people from nuclear war. You know, I feel like you get leadership privileges.
Yeah, pretty much, right? Who's gonna say something?
Right?
The government? What government, you know? So House is out here. He has saved Vegas. He is single-handedly the dude who stopped the nukes from hitting one of the largest cities in Nevada.
Yeah.
Saving a big portion of humanity, which is like, holy crap.
Yeah.
That's something that's not common in the Wasteland, obviously. So we have Robert House to thank for this. Now, he has managed to maintain the strip with a private security force of Securitrons. And they basically work as like guards, right?
Yeah.
He also enlists the help of the NCR.
Mm-hmm.
As another police force for Vegas.
Okay, so he's willing to work with other people.
Exactly. So he's like, Caps need to come in, and as long as you know who is running this place, we're good.
Yeah.
But the NCR is pushing. And they want more of Vegas, obviously.
You know...
So the more he lets them do, the more it kind of becomes a problem.
That's a little rough, because we get the NCR wants to, like, bring back society and government and stuff, but, like, they don't want you here. You don't really have a place to be pushy if you're the good guy, right? Like,
yeah.
They function on their own, and they've been here a lot longer than you. Who's to say you get to make the decisions now? You know? That's a little rough.
Yes. And
unless
again,
terrible things are happening.
Like, this is a great little segue moment, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember how I said, like, organized crime families?
Yeah.
So the NCR believe in old world values, right? They believe in, like, truth, justice, like the judicial system.
Yeah.
Something to hold people accountable for the things that they do. House is a little bit more morally gray in that area.
He's a little more loosey-goosey.
The people who are the crime families here run different casinos.
Yeah.
So there's the Ultralux. There's Gomorrah. There is the Tops Casino. The Lucky 38, which is House's casino.
Yeah.
I believe the Tops is where Benny is. So we're gonna get a lot more into the Tops here in a minute.
Okay.
But these are like the main ones, right? He took tribes from the Wasteland and he brought them in to Vegas and made them the crime families that they are as his enforcers.
He's like, I need more than just myself.
And these Securitrons.
and these Securitrons to actually have a place to rule. Like, I need, like, a functional city, and to do that, we have to have people of influence. So they took people who had already created their own thing and said, hey, you wanna chill?
Yeah. And House instituted some rules.
Uh-huh.
You know, like, the people who now make up the Ultralux were originally a group of cannibals. And he didn't love that.
Mm-hmm.
So there was some rules put in place, but it's kind of maybe not being followed, and he doesn't really care.
Mm-hmm.
So you see what I mean? Where it's like, okay, that's really messed up. The guys that own Gomorrah, it's called Gomorrah, like Sodom and Gomorrah, because it is just a den of debauchery. It is the house of flesh on the strip.
And see, if it's consensual debauchery...
Nope.
okay, maybe the NCR needs to come in and, like, do something about this.
Yeah, there's a lot of problems, because it's the idea of, like, well, she's not a slave, but, you know, I do have a contract with her, and if she destroys the premise of this contract, then, well... And that contract was maybe not super well looked over by a young lady who was heavily dosed with chems at the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, there's a level of it where it's like, okay, but again, it's just like, that's extremely seedy, extremely awful. Like, they're holding a lot of leverage over these women and forcing them to do things that they don't want to be doing.
Yeah.
So it would be different, right, if it was fully consensual, but it's not.
Yeah.
So the NCR is just like, I don't love what's happening here. Like, this
Maybe we talk about this, guys.
Yeah, like, there needs to be some stricter laws set into place. Like, I don't agree with what's happening here. And don't get me wrong, the NCR can 100% come off as paper-pushing nerds with a stick up their ass.
Freaking nerds.
So easily, where they want to bring it back to the point that it's a little too much.
And, like, this is the waste, okay? This is true freedom in, like, a bad way most of the time. But, like, a little bit of true freedom sounds fun, right?
Yeah. So the tops are mostly people who they're swindlers, right? They're card sharks. They're the slicked back greaser group. That's like, hey, yo, it's the Fonzie almost idea, but business suits. So Benny is a part of them. And they've got some pretty high aspirations. They're probably the least terrible, but they're still going to steal your money and cheat. Yeah. So that sucks. Yeah. But when it comes to gambling, we already kind of expect there's the idea that the house always wins. Yeah. You know, so you can't run a casino without making money, and there's some pretty backhanded ways people choose to make that money. Yeah. So, they're the least, but still there's some stuff going on there. So with that in mind, going forward, right, we get to Vegas. It's not as easy as just walking through the door.
It never is.
You have to have money if you want to get into Vegas. So unless you have at least 2,000 caps on your person, you're not rich enough to be in Vegas. Okay. Because that's what you need to buy some papers to basically make it so people know that you are good enough to be here. Which is a lot of money for the average person in Vegas. Yeah. Which is why there's a place outside Vegas called Freeside. And Freeside's where you go when you don't have enough money to actually afford to get into Vegas.
It's the free side of Vegas.
Exactly. And we run into all kinds of little, like, faction parts here. Yeah. There's the Atomic Wrangler, which is a casino.
Okay, love that. We see... This is, like, lovely. We got a little free side. We got the rich side. The rich side is filled with a bunch of terrible people. The free side's filled with a bunch of terrible people. But it's for everybody. Everybody can go here.
Yeah, everybody gets to go here. There is the Silver Rush, which is basically an old casino taken over by a group of weapon dealers called the Van Graff family. Okay. And they deal in high energy weapons.
Oh.
Yeah, they got the expensive shit.
Okay.
They're evil.
Well, I mean, most weapon dealers are.
Yeah. And you can do some quests here to, like, basically clean up Freeside, right? You can get rid of chem dealers and alcohol dealers that are actively, like, messing with the townsfolk.
Okay.
Now, by that, I mean there's a guy who's selling people paint thinner.
Yeah, no, that's not good.
As alcohol.
Yeah, that's not great.
And he's selling them jet that has been laced with an additive to make it 3 times as addicting as normal.
Oh, yeah, let's not do that.
So it gives him the shakes, kills him quick, but he gets a fix.
That's bad.
So yeah, it's real bad, but it's cheap. That's why he can do it. So, you know, we stomp this guy's skull in and we call it a day. That's what I do anyway. I have no qualms with this at all. Like, yep, deed done. Good to go. So, you know, we do a little thing here. There is a gang here called the Kons. And they took over an Elvis impersonation studio. And all of them dress and act and talk like Elvis.
That's incredible.
They are run by the King. Who is the best Elvis impersonator.
Incredible.
And his robo-dog Rex.
Incredible.
Yeah, you can do some quests for this guy, but no matter how you do it, you're getting into Vegas, right? We got to get to Benny.
We're getting in there one way or a frickin' another, because we're the courier.
Yep, so either we have scrounged up enough caps, or we have gotten a favor from the King, or we have bought some papers from Mick and Ralph. Whatever it takes, we got into Vegas. Now, here's the thing. When we get into Vegas, we get an invitation.
Oh?
Directly from a Securitron. From Mr. Robert House.
Oh, wow. Okay.
To come up to his penthouse suite in the Lucky 38.
Okay.
No one has been in the Lucky 38 in over 50 years.
Dang, okay.
So no one has seen House. And there's the idea that maybe he passed away. Maybe it's not actually him. There's a lot of rumors going around the strip right now. Because the question is, how does he survive this long? The war happened over 200 years ago.
Yeah.
At this point, right? So how is this man from before the war, unless he's a ghoul, still alive?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to find that out. So we get this invitation from House. Now, we have a couple options here. We can choose to go in to the Lucky 38 and go talk to Robert House. Or we can say, screw this noise. I got to go mess over that fuckstick Benny. You know, we got some options. Or maybe you just want to explore the strip. You know, maybe you're like, I'm kind of done with big world politics. I finally got to Vegas. I want to see some lights.
Yeah.
You got some options. Now, getting to Benny's a bit of a dick move. It's hard. It's real hard. Because he is in the tops.
Okay.
And they frisk you for weapons when you go into one of these casinos. Now, if you have a high stealth character, you can do something called holdout weapons.
Okay.
Which are like 22 silenced pistol, knives, you know, like basic weapons, right?
Yeah.
If you have a really high stealth character, you can, even when being frisked by the guards, get all of your weapons past them.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Don't ask me how. I don't know.
Prison pocket.
Prison pocket. But, you know, you pull a combat shotgun out of your prison pocket and I'll be impressed. So, much less a rocket launcher. But, you know, like, again, questions, answers. It's a game. Enjoy it. So, we got a couple ways we can deal with this. With Benny. We can either go in guns blazing. And just be like, you know what? Screw you, Benny.
It's like, I don't care why you did it. I don't like that you did.
You don't get to describe nothing. You don't get to do nothing. But you get there, and Benny wants to talk. Of course Benny wants to talk, right? Like, no way.
Of course he does.
He's like, look. Listen. It's nothing personal. All right? I needed what you had. I got what you had. It wasn't that I hate you in particular. It's just business. So, how about this? You go up to my penthouse. You go take a load off. You have a feel for how, like, the other half lives, right? You get yourself a shower. You get yourself some booze. You want women, whatever you want. You go up there, you do that, and then I got a business proposition for you. So maybe we're feeling generous. Maybe we want to hear Benny out.
Mm-hmm.
Why, maybe we're not so bloodthirsty that we're just murdering Benny right off the bat, which is a very hard fight because if we do attack Benny, all of his buddies at the Tops Casino attack us as well. And unless we are an extremely high stealth character, we're doing it with, like, switchblades.
Yeah.
Not fun, not easy, and we have basically destroyed our reputation with Vegas. Everyone hates us now if we destroy these people and kill them, so let's just say we're ready to hear Benny out. We go up to his little suite, and when we get up there, Benny's not up there. It gives us a little bit of time. Like, we can steal his alcohol. By steal his alcohol, I mean it's all free. We can grab it all. We can take his aids, so, like, caps, chems, all that fun stuff. And there's a decent little amount of stuff up in Benny's apartment. And he finally gets up there. He's like, all right. Here's the thing. And he's going to start to lay out a bunch of stuff for us here. So he's like, look, listen. I took your platinum poker chip. And to you, that means Jack Diddley. What are you going to do with a platinum poker chip? Means absolutely nothing unless you know what it's used for. Which I'm guessing, since you were just the messenger boy, you don't know what it's used for. But obviously, you're a bit more resourceful than I thought you were because not only did you survive me shooting you in the head, but you made it all the way here from Goodsprings by yourself. Even I couldn't do that. I had to have kons give me backup.
Oh.
So he's like, you've proven you're pretty resourceful. So how about this? You help me out, I cut you in. And you're like, well, what do you mean you're cutting me in? What do I get out of this? He's like, how about half of Vegas? Okay. Sounds pretty good, huh? That's a treasure pot right there.
Yeah, that's definitely a little bit of a... Especially when it's Vegas, It's like, there's some place where you're like, oh, that's a responsibility, but Vegas?
Mm-hmm.
Vegas.
One of the last bastions of humanity left on the planet Earth, and you could get to run it 50-50 split down the middle with this sleazeball. Now, you might be asking yourself, well, Benny, how are you going to give me half of Vegas? You don't even own Vegas,
Mm-hmm.
House owns Vegas, and House owns the families. How are you supposed to do this? He's like, well, that platinum poker chip that you were supposed to be delivering to House, here's the thing. It's not just a poker chip. It's a microchip.
Mm-hmm.
And this microchip goes into a big machine under Vegas.
Okay.
Where there are tens of thousands of Securitron units.
Dang.
Now, the regular Securitron units that are just rolling around Vegas, they have, like, a low caliber laser arm, nothing crazy for weapons, basic plating.
Yeah.
But they're, at the end of the day, basic security units.
Yeah.
Nothing impressive. Unless they have the upgrade signal cast to them. Which is basically on this computer that is turned on by the platinum poker chip.
Okay.
If that happens, we're talking reinforced armor plating.
Ooh.
We're talking fully automatic machine gun arms.
Okay.
We're talking multiple missile pod shoulders.
Okay.
Like, these things are insane. Their targeting systems are highly advanced, all this fun stuff. With an army like this, not only could you rule Vegas, you could rule all of Nevada if you wanted to.
That's crazy.
The NCR, Caesar's Legion, they don't mean piddle shit in comparison to an army like this. They can't stand up to that.
Yeah.
So, whoever owns this army owns Vegas. And right now, Benny's got the chip.
Okay.
But, again, he doesn't have all of House's security stuff. He doesn't have all the clearance. He doesn't have He doesn't know exactly where this bunker is. He just knows a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But not those. Well, you find out that there's a Securitron that he's been keeping up in his penthouse that he hacked. And it's called Yes Man.
Okay.
And Yes Man has the ability to basically end the game for you.
Oh.
Because now we've unlocked a new ending.
Oh.
A new little thing we can do. Once you find out about Yes Man, you have some choices to make.
Okay.
Because ending Fallout New Vegas, there is a lot you have to do before you end Fallout New Vegas. Because the very end of Fallout New Vegas is the fight for Hoover Dam. Now you might be asking yourself, why is Hoover Dam so important? Well, Hoover Dam is extraordinarily important because it produces electricity. It's hydroelectric dam, so it has the ability to produce a bunch of electricity, and it helps power Vegas.
Yeah.
Now, it's powering a lot of places right now.
Uh-huh.
So whoever has Vegas chooses where that power goes. Or whoever has Hoover Dam chooses where the power goes.
Okay.
Right now, it's controlled by the NCR.
Okay.
The Legion want it real bad.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
And they already attacked and lost.
Okay.
So now, they've got to get ready for the second battle of Hoover Dam.
Okay.
There's lots of quests and stuff you can do here. Now, if you have the Securitron army, well, the army at Hoover Dam doesn't really stand a chance.
Yeah.
But that's going to take some getting to. That's going to take some time. That's going to take some finagling on your part.
Yeah.
To make this happen, right? Because you got to get the poker chip. You got to get it to the underground area. You got to get all of the stuff typed in, all that fun stuff. But there's some factions that need dealt with in the meantime.
Okay.
This is all kind of up to your own interpretation of how you want to do it. So with this, you either gain allies or destroy potential enemies.
Okay.
Factions that are kind of the smaller ones, right? Like the Great Kons.
Yeah.
Need to be dealt with.
Uh-huh.
The Boomers.
Uh-huh.
Need to be dealt at the Nellis Air Force Base. Need to be dealt with.
Yeah, these are all people who are going to be against you if they do end up joining.
So you're like, I need... These people are either going to be fully destroyed and fully eliminated, or you're going to convince them to join you. Uh-huh. Some of them you can, some of them you can't. There's a lot of finagling here to do, and choices made during the gameplay really determines what's about to happen here. So, we could side with Benny. And if we side with Benny, basically we choose kind of how Vegas is going to go. But Benny is also our partner in this. So he has a big hand in this. So if we win, we choose Benny's side. It ends up being run by the people from the Tops Casino and us. Not the best future for Vegas. Mm-hmm. Not the best future at all. You could side with the Legion. But as we already discussed there, it's never going to last because they themselves are just a constant eatery of their own resources. They don't produce, they don't build. It's gone eventually, no matter what. Yeah. And that's best case scenario. You could side with the NCR, which is the obvious answer, right? Like, that's the good guy answer.
Yeah.
And if you side with the NCR, it is one of the better endings for New Vegas. Again, you can have other areas where you choose which factions live and die.
Yeah.
And that'll affect your own personal ending of New Vegas. There's a lot. There's a lot of endings. But how about we explore two other options?
Okay.
Let's go all the way back to that hotel room with Benny. And he's telling us everything, right? He's spilling the beans. He's laying it all out on the line. He's letting us know, like, he wants us on his winning team.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we just decide to say, fuck you, Benny.
Thanks for the info,
Thanks
Benny.
for the info. And we shoot him in the head.
Thanks for the information, Benny. It's been a pleasure getting to know you.
Yep. Maybe we just stick it to him sideways.
Honestly, yeah, that's the move, right?
And maybe we decide we don't need Benny.
We don't need Benny.
Maybe we can do this ourselves. Why split something down the middle when you can have it all? Why are we working with this guy? We got Yes Man.
Why are you working with this guy? He shot you in the face.
Yeah, we got Yes Man. What's to stop us from deciding what we want to do with our Vegas? And this is one of the paths that you can take, where it is up to the courier. You can choose to be a benevolent overlord. You can choose to be a just cruel dictator. It's however you want to play it. You can murder everybody, or you can save everyone. You can be kind, or you can be cruel. And I think that's, in my opinion, one of the best endings for New Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you play a truly good person, it will be the best ending.
Yeah.
Because you care about the people of Vegas, you want to see civilization built, you don't necessarily agree with all the bureaucracy of the NCR, you hate the politics, but maybe, like, you're better, obviously, than people like Caesar's Legion.
Mm-hmm.
And you rule it with your own sense of justice. But that's one person's justice. That is one person's opinion. That is one person getting to call the shots.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't necessarily think that that's fully fair either.
Mm-hmm.
Because who's to say that your opinion is the right one? If it's you, well, that's kind of rough.
If other people agree with you, though.
Now, there is another option.
Okay.
One that we haven't explored yet.
Let's explore it.
Let's say we go all the way back to when we first entered New Vegas. When we first showed up on the Strip, right? And we got that invitation from Mr. House. Maybe, instead of going into the tops, instead of dealing with Benny, instead of finding out about Yes Man, instead of doing all that, maybe we decide to take up House's offer.
Do you have to do it immediately when you get the letter?
Nope.
Okay.
But it does affect the way the game goes.
Okay, interesting.
Because if you do go to see House, Benny's already kind of up on the worried tree. Because you're about to find out basically the same information from House that you found out from Benny.
Okay.
But we get up to Lucky 38, right? Penthouse. And we find this big computer monitor. And we see the 3D image of a man's face.
Okay.
Portrayed on it. And we get to have our first real conversation with Robert House, the man whose brilliance saved Vegas from the bombs.
Okay.
He is a mastermind, he is a genius, he is a tactician, and he's a little bit of a shithead. To be honest.
He an egotistical shithead.
A little bit of a shithead. Now, you get the same offer from Mr. House that you do from Benny. He tells you about the Platinum Poker Chip. He tells you what it does. He tells you about his Securitron army. He tells you he thinks you're extremely capable because you've proven this by making it here, by doing these challenges.
Simply true.
You are an invaluable piece. Somebody that would be just an amazing general. Right? House wants Hoover Dam. House wants you to be the instrument that gives him Vegas. Gives him Nevada. His slipping control over the Strip, no longer a problem. Not if he has his Securitron army. No one would dare go against Robert House. if he had these guys backing him.
Mm-hmm.
No more faulty human problems. No. Robots. It's the way to go. So, you have a choice. Do you want to help House? Do you want to help the Legion? Do you want to help the NCR? Maybe you choose to side with Benny. Or maybe, just maybe, you choose to take it all. Choose to be greedy. Choose to really dig into the fact that you have all of the cards if you choose to take them. And I think that this is probably the Fallout game with the most choice and the most consequence for your actions. The most endings of any of the other Fallout games.
That's crazy.
At least up to this point.
Oh.
The side factions, the characters, the voice lines, all of it is extremely fun. And like, when you choose to side with a faction, there are so many quests you can do for that faction. It's insane.
Yeah.
Like, when you choose to side with the NCR, you can go to Camp Golf. You can go to all of these other NCR checkpoints in Las Vegas, Nevada, and you can help them out, and they're going through all this crazy stuff, and like, there's Camp Forlorn Hope, all this stuff. Getting supplies, requisitioning stuff, dealing with emissaries of Caesar's Legion. There's one quest in particular that I love so much, and it's called A Spy in the Camp.
Okay.
And there's this camp called Camp McCarran. Oh, it's basically an airport
Uh-huh.
that they have taken over. And it has a tram that goes directly to Vegas.
Okay.
Well, somebody has been leaking troop movements
Huh.
to Caesar's Legion,
Oh
and they've been
no.
getting ambushed.
Oh no.
So there is a Caesar's Legion spy
In the
in this camp,
NCR.
in the NCR, and you gotta find him.
Oh, that's fun.
And it ends up with you basically doing a stakeout of this radio tower at night, trying to prove that this guy's showing up, and you listen into a conversation. You're all stealthed like, and you listen into a conversation that they're having. It's definitely, this guy's definitely the spy, and he's about to send a bomb on the tram that's going to blow up and make it really hard for the NCR to get to Vegas.
Yeah.
Because that was their main transport way.
Yeah.
And so you have to go and rush over to the tram and disarm the bomb, and it's really cool.
Yeah.
Really fun. And that's on top of things like, obviously, going out and taking down bounties on fiends and raiders and etc.,
Yeah.
etc., making the wasteland a better place.
Typical Fallout stuff.
NCR, super fun playthrough. I've done it. I never did a Legion play. I just couldn't. I tried. I really tried. I just couldn't do it.
It's so hard. You never think that being mean to people in video games will be hard until you do it, and then you're like, oh, I don't like it.
Yeah, it's really rough. The Brotherhood of Steel do make an appearance in Fallout New Vegas. They're in a place called Hidden Valley. There's a bunker underground. This chapter of the Brotherhood of Steel is probably one of the weakest chapters of the Brotherhood of Steel we've ever seen in any game.
Oh, wow. Okay.
There is only maybe 100 of them.
It makes a lot of sense if New Vegas is it's super high tech, and that's the Brotherhood's whole thing is that they get tech, like old world tech. Like,
yeah,
there's not much out here for them.
Not really. We find out here that this chapter of the Brotherhood doesn't really recruit new members.
Okay.
And they only produce members that are born into their own ranks.
Huh, interesting.
So they don't really go looking for recruits.
Okay.
And because of this, they have steadily been decreasing in numbers over the past, however many hundreds of years at this point.
Yeah.
And they are not a force to be really reckoned with.
Yeah.
There was a time that seeing a knight in full power armor was a scary thing.
Yeah.
And then you have like the Van Graff selling plasma weapons that can tear
Right.
through power armor. So
And that's on free side.
and that's on free side. So they don't have the numbers or the firepower to be scary.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. 100 knights show up to your door. You're having a bad day, but they're not all knights.
No.
They're scribes and initiates and squires. Like the 100 of them that there are, if there even are 100, are scattered throughout the entirety of the different branches. So there's only a handful of knights left.
Yeah.
There's a paladin, there's the elder, all that fun stuff, but it's so small that they are having to rely on camouflage and subterfuge to stay alive.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. The people of, like, Nevada were like, we don't want you here, Brotherhood.
Pretty much.
Like, you can leave now.
Pretty much. Their numbers got extraordinarily diminished when they tried to take over a solar energy array called Helios 1.
Okay.
And they managed to take it from the NCR.
Okay.
They fought and killed a bunch of the NCR.
Dang, okay.
And held Helios 1. Because their I want to say he was their elder at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Was a guy called Father Elijah.
Okay.
And when he took it, basically you find out that it was a Poseidon energy plant that was working on something. It was a weapon. It was a weapon. And it calls down a laser strike from orbit.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So he wanted that.
Yeah.
He wanted that. And they did not have the people or the manpower to hold it because the NCR found out that they took it.
Yeah.
And were like, oh, hell no. And decided to send in battalions.
Right.
Of other NCR troopers.
That makes so much sense.
And Father Elijah was pretty mad that they could not keep it. And so he left the Brotherhood.
And he left them on their own.
Yep.
Oh, he's like, they took my toy, I give up.
And they retreated to the Hidden Valley bunker, and that's where they've been ever since.
That's wild.
So pretty much no presence from the Brotherhood of Steel, a little bit, but the Enclave is literally, there are some. I'm not even kidding, there's 5.
Like people?
Yeah.
In total?
5 people in total. And they are called the Remnants.
Uh-huh.
One of them has never... his name is Arcade Ganon.
Mm-hmm.
And he is basically the next generation of Enclave that there's not enough of to be a thing.
That's crazy.
So he's never been in the power armor. He's heard stories. So it's kind of like hearing your dad tell you about Vietnam, but that doesn't make you a soldier, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So he's like, I believe in what the Enclave stood for. And it's crazy because he's actually a very good guy.
Oh.
And he's extraordinarily intelligent.
Didn't know the Enclave could make those.
Right? It's because they're pretty much gone. At least in Vegas, they have pretty much no presence.
He's not been influenced at all by the other Enclave members.
Yeah. So he's like, it's a great idea.
Oh.
He loves the idea of the Enclave, but he's never really had to see it in action where they get all purifying, murdery, xenophobic,
right,
crazy stuff. Because he treats ghouls and he treats super mutants, and like as long as you're a good person, he's there for it.
Fair.
So it's like, awesome. Not the way the Enclave acts.
Yeah.
Not the way the Enclave acts at all. And they always,
anybody else was there with him.
Exactly. There would be problems. And so the actual members of the Enclave that were real fighting men and women of the Enclave, they're old. They're like 70.
They're like, we're not doing anything else here.
And so they're like, you know what? You can convince them if you do a series of quests to show up at the fight for Hoover Dam.
Wow, seriously?
And they show up in Enclave power armor.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's dope. Which side do they fight for?
Whoever you choose.
That's crazy, and I love that. Just a bunch of old people who are objectively have some morals that maybe
Yeah.
we don't agree with, but they show up and they kick ass for you anyway.
Racist grandpa shows up with his AR-15 and decides to just start whacking people like he's back in Vietnam.
He is not looking into the reason why he's shooting these people. He doesn't know if he agrees with it morally, but he's like, I owe this guy a favor.
Exactly. He's like, you know what? I think we got one more run in us.
That's
essentially
crazy.
how it is.
I love it when old people are badass.
It's really cool.
Like, oh, I love it when old people get a chance to be cool.
Like, the stories in New Vegas were some of my favorites simply because it's we've talked about how cowboys and futuristic sci-fi stuff has a great work in together.
Yeah.
And that was literally New Vegas.
Yeah.
Like, it was all cowboys versus, futuristic laser tech kind of stuff. And it's just such a great aesthetic, and it works so well together.
Yeah.
And we find out some of the coolest bits of information here.
Mm-hmm.
In this game and in, like, the expansions that are attached to it. We find out that a lot of national parks didn't get hit by the bombs.
Yeah, like, because why would they?
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't really think about a national park because it's not like it's super populated by people.
Right? And it's important because it's like, this stuff is canon, and it wasn't actually established in any of the other games, so finding it out now is really important.
Right.
I would say, like, extraordinarily so. We get another expansion called Old World Blues, where we find out how cazadors were made.
Okay.
And cazadors are that, like, species of desert wasp that is enormous, and when they sting you, you go on a crazy drug trip. They were made in a lab.
That's crazy.
At a place called Big Mountain.
Are there cazador junkies who just go around being like, sting me, sting me,
not,
sting me, cazador, sting me?
Not in the game, but it is 100% a thing, right? Like, that's my headcanon is 100% that is a thing.
Right. It's like, will they probably kill you after your drug trip? Maybe.
Maybe.
But, like, you'll go out having a good time.
So we find out that the cazadors were made in a lab, and they got out of Big Mountain, and they continued to propagate, and that's how they were made. They're not actually a mutated insect. They're lab bred.
I feel like that's a lot of the creatures in Fallout, what they end up being. Unless it's, like, very specifically, like, a ghoul-rilla or a, like, a ghoul raff. Is that a thing?
Fallout Africa.
That would be dope.
We find out that Night Stalkers are a thing, and I think this is the very first game that we're introduced to Night Stalkers. I could be wrong.
Okay.
But Night Stalkers are half coyote, half rattlesnake.
Hate that. That sounds pretty awful.
They have a rattlesnake head, a coyote body, and a rattlesnake tail.
Oh, yeah. Nope. That's even worse than what I was picturing.
So they're as fast as a coyote, as aggressive as a rattlesnake, and they have the venom.
Cool. That's super cool.
So again, this was another genetic experiment from Big Mountain, hooray, that ended up getting out into the wasteland and starting to propagate.
Yeah. Yep. That sounds pretty bad.
And of course, the scientist that you talk to about this is like, "Oh, they're sterile. That couldn't have happened." And you're like,
Nature finds a way.
Nature found a way.
Have we not learned this yet?
They lay eggs, and their young is produced by eggs.
Cool.
Like a snake.
I freaking love that. That's
horrific.
Anyways.
Horrific. That's exactly what that is. Like, we can call a spade a spade. It's horrific. They end up getting into a shipment of stealth boys.
Mm-hmm.
And they do, kind of what dogs do. Where they bite into things.
They eat things that they shouldn't eat. I'm looking at you, Buckley.
And they eat stealth boys, and they gain a natural camouflage that is passed down generationally.
No!
It's an adaptation. So they can just turn invisible. Yeah.
So they just...
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so we find out about those in Fallout New Vegas. Those are a canonical thing, and we find out where they're from and kind of how they started and where that species is going, essentially. So we learn a lot about, I think, just the creatures.
Mm-hmm.
It introduces a bunch of factions, right? Like, we never got to see Caesar's Legion before.
Yeah.
So that's a huge faction that they introduced with a bunch of backstory, and it's the main enemy of this game.
Yeah.
Right? Is like Caesar's Legion, which is kind of crazy because up to this point, the bad guy has always just kind of been like, the Enclave, right? From Fallout
Mm-hmm.
2, or the Master's Army from Fallout 1, or the Enclave again in Fallout 3. But, like, we haven't had a moment where there was just like, oh yeah, there's a group of raiders in the wasteland that is so prominent and so, like, militaristic and so brought together by one purpose that they're accomplishing this.
Yeah.
Like, the Enclave was the remnants of the US military, so it makes sense to a point that they're so organized and they have those advanced tech and, et cetera, et cetera. But it's like, no, these are just bad people.
Yeah.
Like, these are just genuinely terrible people who rallied behind one guy with a set of ideals because he was extremely charismatic and he found a history book he never should have found.
Somebody hide the history books.
And he made Caesar. So it would be the same thing if somebody found, like, a World War II history book
Mm-hmm.
in that world and was like, oh, this Hitler guy's got a lot of really cool ideas. And then they just decide to call themselves
Hide
Hitler.
the history books. Why
Yeah.
do we only put... Oh, my God. Why do we only put, like, the bad part of history in the history books? Because good things don't make history.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but remember in 3, we actually had the guys who stuck up at the Lincoln Memorial?
Yeah, well, we need
That was really
more
cool.
of that. We need more of that and less of Kaiser.
Mm-hmm. Oh, 100%. But, like, they weren't technologically advanced. Yeah. They weren't technologically advanced. They weren't anything super important. But they managed to become, like, the main enemy
Yep.
in a game.
Yeah.
Crazy. And they're not mutants. They're not, like, super powerful or anything.
No.
They've got nothing on their side other than, like,
They
I don't know,
started
bad
a-
ideals. Like, and then they just freaking go with it.
One dude who got together with his buddies and he's like, hey, what do you guys think of this idea? And all of his buddies were like, yeah, that sounds pretty fucking great. And it was just a terrible idea. It, like, really screwed over everybody else that wasn't them. And they were like, this is gonna be awesome!
Yeah, it really comes together when you understand that they don't believe women should have any rights at all.
Yeah, it was
And
a bunch
so
of
it's
boys who got
exactly
together
it was a bunch,
in a group.
It was a bunch of just really terrible dude bros, like the scum of society, who got together and they're like, gosh, wouldn't it be so much better if women couldn't vote?
They're like, you're like, look at this Caesar guy. Look at this Kaiser guy. We didn't know it could happen this way before the war.
Yeah, before we
Now
can
that
build
the
a new
bombs
society,
fell.
a better society. Like,
Oh
no.
God.
It's the worst future. It's the worst future.
So, the moral of the story is, if the apocalypse happens and you see a history book, just burn it. Just burn it for everybody else's sake.
Yeah,
Let's just
rough.
make a new history than remember the old one.
Real rough. Because they can bring it into action.
Uh-huh.
Like, it's so easy to bring into action. And I hate that.
Mm-hmm.
But, I think we can go a little bit longer. And by that, I mean, like, we'll go an extra minute and a half here. Because in the TV show, I just want to bring this up. This is spoilers for the
now.
TV show season 2. They're talking about the fact that people are coming in and destroying civilizations, right? They destroyed Shady Sands with a nuke. It looks like Vegas got some kind of big mess over, and we haven't fully seen exactly what's happening there, but we've seen that it's not great. We know there's death claws, and we know that Vegas, which was once this bustling mecca of civilization still, is irradiated now.
Mm-hmm.
Which implies somebody dropped off another nuke at House's doorstep or something along those lines, maybe a dirty bomb. So, we know somebody's doing it. And it's kind of crazy that that's happening right now, because the world is not exactly in a place where it can take those kind of losses.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's theories about who it could be. I'm gonna be mad if it's the Enclave again. I'm just gonna say it now. I'm gonna be mad. I'm gonna be kind of upset about it because they keep using the Enclave as a scapegoat for all of their, like, it was the Fallout 2, Fallout 3. Oh, look, the Enclave's back. Oh, we kicked their ass. Oh, look, the Enclave's back. And if it's literally like, oh, cool, the Enclave's back after we kicked their ass in 3, I'm gonna be a little mad. I'm gonna be a little upset because you can't just keep using that as your scapegoat. But if it's not the Enclave, who could it be? Somebody's going around with the idea that they want to just destroy civilization. Is it Vault Tech? Well, that feels a little weird.
I have a theory that's going to drive all the nerds crazy. It's nothing that you've ever seen before. Therefore, it cannot be not canon nor canon.
Possible. It's very possible. Let us know your ideas for who could be destroying civilization in the comments section below. And until then, this is going to wrap up our episode, but is there anything you would like to shout out? Any products you would like to mention?
Go buy the cookbook.
Yes! The Copper Spoon Chronicles.
It's a cookbook that you can... Cookbook.
The Copper Spoon Chronicles, available wherever books are sold. It is a cookbook adventure following Cobb Copperspoon and her group of adventuring party members as she gets to explore the adventuring lifestyle and cook delicious meals along the way.
You're so good at that.
If you like a cookbook adventure, if you like fantasy and you like cooking good food, go check out the Copper Spoon Chronicles, available now wherever books are sold. And there are digital copies, so if you don't want to have to wait for your order to arrive or you're just not a hands-on kind of reader, don't worry, we got you covered. You're good to go. Yeah, audiobook coming soon.
Don't listen to that. I don't know. Ebook.
Who would read it?
There's an ebook.
It'd be so cool. So many options.
She's making promises that are
real. I'm not making promises. I'm making rumors. Rumors that can become a
Stop
reality
rumors.
with your help. Oh my gosh! Don't let them tell us what we can't do. All right, but yes, with that, you also might have noticed there is a bit of a change on YouTube. It is high fantasy right now. There are still cooking videos and stuff that have been uploaded to that, and it's not that we're going to stop uploading cooking videos to there, but it is a new page has been made for a new project that Emily has started. And it is all about a bunch of interesting stuff, and you'll have to go check it out. I don't know. Is there a name for that YouTube channel?
Copper Spoon Chronicles.
The Copper Spoon Chronicles is the name of the YouTube channel. Now where Emily's working on her own fun little thing. So if you want to go check that out, go see what it could be. Who knows? It might be something you're interested in. Yeah, I think that's everything. Are you good?
I'm good. Are you good?
I'm good. All right, with that, we're going to end it here, but thank you all for listening, and we'll see you again next time. And until then, goodbye,
Bye.
merry travelers!
Do not eat the wire.